Hi, my name is Josh. I'm from the Good Brothers Trading Academy. What I want to do is every single night I'm going to break down some tickers, some stock tickers, and I'm going to show you where the charts are broken down so you would understand where the buy and sell zones are at, or supply and demand in the market. This way you have an understanding of where you should buy when the stock comes down in a price, depending on the patterns you're looking for and what you like to trade. But what I want to do, what my goal is, and I need you guys to help me out. My goal is to get 1,000 subscribers because I want to do this live. And in order to go live, I have to have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. If I can get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, then I will be able to you guys will be able to ask me questions, and I'll be able to break down the stocks that you guys are interested in, okay? So first and foremost, I'm just going to start out with a couple. We're going to look at Apple. No particular reason, just because it's at the top of my chart, starts with an A. Then we'll go down to BA, and I've been watching, and I'm actually in a position right now, and we'll go over that as well. So starting with, and I do zones. So what I like to do is I like to understand where the stock has been at. We have our high up here, and so we understand that this is where sellers came in at, okay? And so we'll go ahead and put a sell zone at the high. Pretty easy to find. And then we're going to go ahead and break down the rest of the chart. So we see that buyers came in off this area. Okay, so we know that this is where a demand zone would be. So as the price comes down, we see that it comes down, we find buyers in here. And this pushes the stock price up, it comes back down, we find more buyers, pushes it back up, so forth, so on. And then we find sellers. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're not getting stuck somewhere where maybe supply and demand. We want to know when buyers continue to think it's a good deal, so we can enter the stock at a place in the charts where we're comfortable in order for us to profit and for us to feel, again, comfortable in our position for us to hold on to make money. So and we do that by looking at the candlesticks and reading candlestick price action is how we find these zones, okay? Our charts. And what my plan is what I really want to do is I want to help you guys out. I want to break down the tickers you guys see value in, or just the stocks or the companies that you guys are interested in. Maybe you're looking at Amazon or Tesla. Maybe you want to invest in some Tesla, something like that. I would love to tell you where and when, maybe not necessarily when, because I won't be there to stand over your shoulder, but I'll be able to tell you where there is seems to be a good deal or some type of buying or selling pressure in that area. And now, if you know anything about trading stocks, you'll learn when they come down to a certain price level, like I was saying earlier, that buyers come in. Well, when it gets above a certain price area where sellers used to be at, and I'll go over this with, I think it's Beyond, but they will use that same resistance as support in the market. Okay, so we see that we do have some type of selling pressure here. I would be sure to use this as a profit or a sell zone. So what you want to do is we want to find an entry. We had a lot of consolidation. We had some selling off into this zone here. We built a pattern kind of going horizontal sideways. So what I'd be doing is I'd be looking for something to open up. If we can consolidate all night, that's great. But let's say we open up somewhere right around this area. We would want to wait for a sell-off to be able to buy it down here to hope to sell it into this zone up here. Okay, now let's look at the daily time frame real quick. So we have an understanding of kind of what's going on. Okay, so we're mid-range. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we stay above this zone. If we start failing this zone, then we're kind of in some problems. But what I mean by failing is rejecting the bottom, okay, of the zone. So if we get underneath this zone, then there's a good chance, this zone right here, there's a good chance the stock price will come down underneath, maybe come up to the bottom of the zone, get rejected, and then continue down to the next supply zone, okay? And what I do is I fill these out. I paint them so I have a decent understanding of where the zones are at, because if there's too many zones, sometimes you get stocks with a lot of buying and a lot of fighting back and forth. I generally stay out of that. I don't like that. I like to catch the bigger moves in the market. I like to set my buy and sell orders. I'm busy, so I'm building the business. I'm doing other things, and it keeps me from staring at the charts all the time. I don't have time to stare at the charts all the time. So that's also why I use bigger time frames, which is why I like to teach new people, because when you're starting out, first thing starting out, you should be looking at bigger time frames. You don't want to look at time frames that are moving so quickly. So, for example, let's check out the 3-hour chart. I recommend the 3-hour chart for everybody that is new starting out. And we have this push up, we have this consolidation sideways now. Okay, so some kind of a flag pattern, it looks like. We're staying on the top side of this zone. So I would like to see some type of sell off maybe in the morning, maybe some buying pressure. If you're watching it and maybe it starts up here, maybe it just kind of starts rocking. But I know that this candle is a control candle, and I'd be paying attention to that. There is some serious selling pressure up here, but we have already got one wick. This is the second wick, and actually this is the third wick. And so there should be a lot of the sellers should be out of the game at this point. So what I'd be looking for is a consolidation sideways, some type of a curve pattern, and see if we can get a higher low setup to play off of. Okay, and always try to buy off support. Don't always try to take breakouts. YouTube always talks about taking breakouts. It's not the best case scenario in many, when you're looking at the charts. This is kind of a cool pattern. We have ourselves a flag. So if you draw in from the top, and a pennant shape, right? You have the flag pattern going up, and then you have the consolidation sideways. This thing should move pretty good. So let's break it down. I like going to a 30-minute chart to find my zone, because I like to find and see where we have buyers and sellers struggling in certain areas. So I see some struggling here, some buying pressure, selling pressure. This was a clear buy zone in this area. Mm-hmm. And then we have some tops put in here. Okay, and this will give you an understanding of where to put your buys and your sells. And that way you know where to take profit to, and you know when to get into the trade. Okay, so that's breaking down BA. If you're interested in trading BA, this is the levels I would be paying attention to. Okay, and if you don't know how to read the chart patterns and you don't know how to read candlesticks yet, that's your first step. Okay, is learning to read candlesticks. You just don't jump in and start buying, because you don't know when you will be when the stock is failing. If you don't know how to read candlesticks, you don't know when to get out of the position. Okay, so getting into the position and getting out of the position, both very critical. So that's BA. Okay, let's go to Baba. And I'm excited. I can't wait to break down stocks for you guys on what you guys are wanting to trade. And that's the point of trying to build a YouTube page to provide some value to you guys, okay? So that is your zones. See, this zone's pretty close. This is why I like to paint them. So it's probably more like that. And let's throw in some color. These are the levels I'd be paying attention to on ticker symbol BA. Okay, and if you guys have questions, or if you guys want me at this point to look at certain stocks, break down certain stocks for you, no problem. Just post it in the comments below. Now, this was something I was paying attention to on BA, and what I found to be attractive about BA is if we look at the weekly time frame. Plus, we had news on BA. Okay, so we have this. It wasn't BA. There was another stock that I was paying attention to, but I like that we were breaking out of. We have this nice pattern up. We had news where I think I don't remember if it was getting into a Walmart store or somebody was doing something, but there was a good positive news on BA, so I was paying attention. I took a BA trade. I actually posted in the Facebook group. That's the first link. The first link in the description box below gives you our private Facebook page or our Facebook page, and you can check us out there. Sometimes I post little profit stuff for people that are first getting started out. Sometimes I'll post the YouTube videos there, so you can keep an eye on that, or just some things and updates that Good Brothers Trading is currently doing. Okay, so I like to check out this. I love checking out the weekly time frame. We have a nice pattern being put in, a nice push up, a flag pattern, a consolidation. BA, I'll be definitely looking, and you could see this. This is what I really liked about BA. So before I get back into this, is look at this flag pattern that just went sideways, that consolidation. The longer we consolidate sideways, the longer that explosion up or down. Okay, we're continually trapping buyers and sellers in the market, and that's what we're looking for. Plus, I really like this trend. So each time it would come down here was a buy zone. Each time it would come up here, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. I think I got in somewhere right around here, and I sold at the top up here, or maybe it was this day, one of these days here. Wish I would have been paying attention to it because I liked the way this was. And oh, you know what? I think I did play it right here off this breakout. And I should have been paying more attention to it, but I like where it's at now. I don't think it's overextended. I think that we still have a little bit of room in it. We will just wait to see the price action on how this works and how this happens, but we would be I'd just leave that the way it is. I'd just watch it. I'd watch it going long. We're buying breakouts at that point, but I don't want to tell you guys where to buy and sell on that particular one. Unless you guys are interested, then that's fine. If you guys want to play that. Let's see. So let's go to our 30-minute chart. And we definitely have sellers up here. It's the second time we're getting rejected, and then it gapped up and then just got slapped right back down. So we have definitely some buyers stepping in right here. I don't know why the chart does that sometimes, making my lines all messed up. Okay, so we have buyers here fighting. And if it drops, the next zone I would be paying attention to would be down here. Yep. Oh, goodness. And I'll give you one more. And then down here would be another buy zone. Okay, so anytime it gets down in here, I'd be reading the patterns, trying to figure things out, see how the patterns are forming around this area. Don't go underneath a 30-minute chart starting out. Stick to your 3-hour time frames. I go and I talk about the top-down approach. I talk about how we start from the higher time frames, working ourselves backwards to the lower time frames in order to pick our entries. So we get our direction off the bigger time frames. If there's a pattern being built on a 3-hour chart or a weekly chart, we can be determined, like if it's a bull flag, we know that the direction is up. So you wouldn't be shorting it. I wouldn't short it even if it's crashing, okay? If the direction is moving up, we just wait to buy down at the bottom because people are looking for good deals in the stock, right? The stock is moving up, so when it comes down to a good deal, we want to be where other buyers are at. Once you see the patterns where other buyers are forming and where they're coming in at, we just hitch a ride and take some of the profits with us, okay? So here are the zones, and this will be the last one for tonight. I'm looking forward to it. If any of you guys want me to break down a particular stock, I would love to look at it, check it out, give you my opinion on it, and that way if you're paying attention to it and you're looking at stuff, maybe I can give you a little bit of insight on what I would be doing and looking at, and it would be a little bit more exciting as you're following the stocks that you like instead of just always the stocks that I like, okay? But I do got to get to 1,000 subscribers, so do me a favor, like the page, subscribe first off, and then share the link to other people and other traders, and share it with groups. Let me get out there to help you guys, and I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video, which would be tomorrow.